SABERSIM's lineup filters on step 3 can be a really powerful way to look a little closer at the lineup constructions you're using in your lineups, but also to make bulk changes for individual combinations of players, team stacks, game stacks, and stack types. This video is just going to be a very quick demo of how you might go about using these tools, but there is a lot of different ways that you can put this into practice. But first of all, to see the lineup filters or to filter by a particular player, we're going to use these magnifying glass icons here on the left-hand side of a player name. The magnifying glass with the plus icon will filter by all lineups that include that particular player, and the filter with the minus icon will then filter by all lineups that don't include that particular player. You can, as you can see here, combine these different filters together and see all these different combinations of different players or different team stacks, for example, in your individual lineups here. These filters can be a really powerful tool to look a little bit closer at the individual constructions of your lineups and potentially make micro or macro changes to your lineups all at once. I'll give you a quick example of how this might be used. Let's reset these individual player filters and take a look at this lineup build for tonight's NBA slate. One of the things that immediately popped out to this build for me was that there were a lot of individual Phoenix Suns players. It's probably the case that at least at the time of this recording here, those players are very good values, but I don't see too many players from their opponent, the Chicago Bulls. And as I'm researching my lineups, I think I don't really want to play any lineups that have at least 2 Suns without having a Chicago Bulls player on the other side. Now, how might I go about doing that? Well, what I can do is I can go over to the Team Stacks tab here and filter by all lineups that have a stack of the Suns. A stack on SABERSIM here is defined as a team that has at least 2 players from it. So we can filter by all of our lineups that have a Suns stack. And then we can go over to the Game Stacks tab here and filter out all of the lineups that don't have a game stack of the Suns versus the Bulls. So what this means is that the remaining lineups are going to be all of my lineups here that have at least 2 Suns without a Bulls player on the other side. When you're filtering, you'll see this remove filtered lineups option pop up here, which allows you to bulk remove all of the lineups at once that match that particular set of filters. One thing to note here is that this remove filtered lineups button applies to the current tab that you're looking at here. If I click this button when I'm looking at the My Lineups tab, it is simply just going to delete the 12 individual lineups that fit these filters in this particular tab. But if I click the Pool tab, I can permanently delete every single lineup that matches this set of filters from my pool and make sure that I don't accidentally end up with more lineups that have 2 Suns and no Bulls run back filtering in on the other side. So we'll click Pool here. We'll click Remove Filtered Lineups. It's going to say there are 177 lineups in your pool of 500 that have 2 Suns and no Bull in it. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm going to say yes, I confirm. I'm going to remove the filters that I just set. And then I'm going to update this back up to 20 so that I have the number of lineups I want to play. And now I can be confident that every single lineup that I have with at least 2 Suns in it is going to have at least 1 Bull on the other side, giving me these nice game stacks of this particular game environment. As I mentioned before, there are a ton of different ways to use this functionality, and I'm sure you will find a bunch of different creative ways for your process for different sports and sites and slate types. If you have any other questions about how to use these filters, as always, feel free to reach out in the RunPureSports Discord or check out some of our other tutorial videos. In the meantime, thanks and good luck.